Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome back to more of the Sonic Heroes Extra videos. It is time to go through the last stretch of extra videos here as we start working on Team Chaotix, the wild card, the detective agency. The group that's honestly pretty cool. I love this group. So as I mentioned before, Team Chaotix, they don't really get one static secondary mission like all the other teams. Their mission will actually vary quite a bit, depending on what the initial objective is. As far as A rank is concerned, we have to get 50,000 points for the A rank in Mission 1, 43,000 points for the A rank on Mission 2. So, like I said, the secondary objective for Chaotix will normally vary. It's going to be a variation of the objective you did in Mission 1, but usually with like one added stipulation. And the stipulation for this mission, or this level, is that you have to do it while being stealthy. So, you know, you have the normal mission of finding the Chao, but you also need to not get detected by any enemies. Much like you had to do in Egg Fleet and the Frog Forest level. So yeah, you have to be very careful with this. Make sure that you do not get detected by enemies, and be very careful if you do decide to try and fight some enemies. It is definitely possible, and I would recommend it if you're trying to go for A ranks. But be, again, very, very careful with what you attack and what you decide to attack. Enemies that are asleep, probably a good target, especially if you level up a little bit. But be careful if they have defenses or if their weapon is out in some way, because if you actually target them, when that happens you may get hit and then you'll be visible on screen for a little bit. But for the most part though, as long as you're careful, you can try to test and see what you can get away with. And you can get away with more than what you can think, but don't be surprised if you have a run where, you know, you just accidentally get caught, or like an enemy just like barely snipes you out of the corner of their eye, because that can most certainly happen. And we'll definitely see instances of that happening in this playthrough. But yeah, this mission is honestly not too bad. It's just a large part just going through the level as you normally would, and you know, get some kills here and there as well. I actually opted to do a team blast here just to get those 3 enemies out of the way, get some extra rings, kind of build up those points a little bit. But you have to keep in mind that if you go fast enough, you'll have a really good time bonus, and that time bonus should actually be enough to get you through. So, you know, don't worry about A rank too much. Again, it's one of those things where it's like, try to do the level as quickly as you can, and then see what like kind of score you do get. And then from there, you can kind of test the waters and see what you have to do. Maybe, like, you see that, okay, well, maybe you have to destroy a few enemies, so maybe you'll defeat a few extra enemies along the way. Or, you know, you try to look for ways to get combos, or your team blast off, stuff of that nature. That's essentially the type of stipulation that you can expect in these secondary missions. Like, right here, this would have actually been a good place for a team blast, but unfortunately, since, well, okay, I did get a team blast. I didn't have enough, but I kind of forgot that rings were right there, so yeah. That's a good place for a team blast, is essentially what I'm trying to say there. And that gives us plenty of points as well, so this is honestly looking pretty good for us right now. Now right here, be very careful. This is actually the ending of the stage, but when you come up here, try to kind of hug the left side. And don't go straight up there, because sometimes an enemy can see you out of the corner of their eye. And that can be very, very annoying. So let's go ahead and do that, and get rid of some of these enemies. Yeah, get those enemies out of here. And see that one of the enemies over here is sleeping, so you can kind of use that to your advantage. Or just do what I did and wake him up anyway. That works too. And yeah, there we go. We found the Chao, and that is the first mission completed. Really not too bad, all things considered. Very short level, which definitely helps. And that is an A rank, so there we go.
Ultimate ninja power.
Second level completed. So let's go ahead and get our 108th emblem, and then we'll move on to the next stage, Grand Metropolis. So the additional requirement here is a time limit. So you had to clear out all the enemies in the first mission, but now you have to do it in a time limit. And thankfully, 8 minutes is actually pretty generous, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. And yeah, we don't have to worry about hiding because it's not, you don't have to be in stealth mode in this one either. But yeah, this is just largely just paying attention to your surroundings, getting all the enemy kills, and just making your way through the stages quickly as possible. There are a few sections that are kind of tricky in this one. Like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's like one point in this level where enemies only spawn if you like get to a certain point. And you can very easily like walk right by that point and then kind of screw yourself. And not really screw yourself, it's just that you'd have to go back and reactivate them. And obviously in this mission, since there is a time limit, like if you go too far, it may not be enough time to go back and get that. So just kind of be wary of that, I guess you could say. But for the most part, though, this will play pretty similarly how it played the first time. It's just do what you did before, just do it faster. And really, that's just kind of what Team Chaotix amounts to. So look at all those rings. And look at all those extra 1-ups that we have as well next time you get a chance. Team Chaotix, you'll definitely have the most 1-ups. And, you know, probably good that you do. Unlike Team Dark, it might be easier to get 1-ups with Team Chaotix because of their Team Blast. So definitely use that to your advantage. I was kind of hoping I had Charmy's, like a higher level Charmy for that, but unfortunately didn't really. So we'll just take him out with my other characters. And see, like, I'm being very, very careful here. I'm making sure that I actually open up like all the boxes and stuff just in case there might be enemies hiding under them, which can definitely happen. You may not have to be as picky as you do for like Team Rose, and even then you're not really even being that picky for those stages either. But yeah, in this case, definitely just do what you can to cover as much ground as you can in the time limit. See, like right here, definitely make sure you open up these doors, because I believe both of these have enemies. And then, yeah, right there, I was like, wait a minute, let me go ahead and level up while that checkpoint was still in view. And we're going to go on over here, go ahead and use the Team Blast, because I think there's like a couple of enemies like hiding behind boxes and stuff. Or at least 2 of them. Still, those are 2 enemies that if you're just like kind of moving straight ahead and not thinking about it, you may miss them, so it's not bad to get these checks in just in case. And yeah, I'm just checking the boxes just to verify that, like, hoping make sure the Team Blast did actually get everything in the area. And the reason why I'm doing that is I had a few runs where basically I got to the very end and I was missing like 2 or 3. So it just usually meant there was like 1 spawn that didn't go the right way. Now right here you can use the power character in the cannon to get those. But you can also just use Charmy in the Thunder Shoot as well. Doesn't really matter too much. I actually wondered if you could potentially get down there, and maybe it's possible. But I'll probably do this just to be safe. So yeah, we're about the halfway point in terms of time. In terms of enemy kills. We're definitely doing fine. But yeah, like right here specifically, this is kind of where I'm trying to be a little careful, because I remember there was one run where I was just kind of messing around here looking for stuff, and all of a sudden, like, 2 enemies just randomly appeared where I wasn't expecting them, and that's kind of what I kind of feared in my other attempts where I came up short. I'm like, oh, those are probably like the 2 I missed or something. So yeah, it's like me, I'm also kind of like checking to make sure there wasn't anything over there as well, so... Yep, just a case of me being sure I got everything. Gonna ignore that key though, because don't need that.
Let's go. Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, once again, just making sure there wasn't anything back there.
Shield is causing us trouble. SPO, can you get rid of it?
Yeah, SPO could get rid of that, but we could also just spam a bunch of purple bubbles. Because Vector is silly. Silly, but awesome. It's an awesome silliness, okay? So yeah, right here, definitely use Thunder Shoot. You could also use the cannon, but I don't think the cannon's really that necessary.
Let's go.
I'll take the lead.
And then, yeah, definitely take that so you can get the rainbow rings. Mainly just for, like, you know, points' sake if you're shooting for those A ranks. Okay, so there we go. Next we have to jump on this pole.
Let's go.
So when you head into this part right here, there is stuff over there, but I believe that's just where you came from.
Here we go.
But yeah, right here you want to be at 70, if I'm not mistaken. Right here, those are the two enemies that I think I kept missing. Because they literally fall down, like, when you hit those things. So that can kind of catch you off guard. I think that target back there is just for, like, a 1-up or something. But yeah, when you enter this part, this checkpoint, you should have about 73. Again, just making sure I covered my tracks. And as long as you have like a minute left, you should be fine. Yeah, right here, we now have some flying enemies that we have to get rid of. We got 2 enemies here, and then we have 2 more enemies at the very end.
Here we go.
Should be just enough to finish this.
Take the lead.
Let's go.
Yeah, that was me getting a little impatient there, trying to start the thing before it was actually ready. So I'm just going to Team Blast here, finish up this mission, and I believe that should be an A rank. We have a score that's pretty reflective of 1 anyway, I'd say. A rank it is.
The work of professionals.
So there we go. That will do it for Grand Metropolis. So now we're going to move on to the power plant for our 110th emblem. And for this one, we have to defeat the 5 gold turtle robots. In the first mission, you only have to defeat 3. In this mission, you have to defeat all 5 of them. So be on the lookout for them. As for the A ranks, 45,000 for mission 1, 40,000 for mission 2. And honestly, I feel like this is one of those where the mission 2 A rank is probably easier than the first one. Just because you're going to be going through large groups of enemies, but regardless, you'll get a lot of points through that, so... You'll be spending more time in the level, obviously, but once you actually know where all the turtles are, there's, like, lots of stuff you can skip. A lot of those sections where it's just kind of like, you know, flying around for power-ups, you can kind of not really worry about too much. So you have that going for you. But yeah, I actually did this, so I could get this flower and get that level up.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
I'll take the lead. Here we go.
Spirits unite.
But yeah, for the most part, for a lot of these missions, it's pretty much either like collect all of something that you collected only a few of before, you either get like a time limit added to a certain requirement, or you have to add the stealth mechanic to it. So basically just a combination of doing, you know, different of those achievements and whatnot. That's really all there is. But yeah, there is the first gold turtle right behind that cage. And I believe the second gold turtle is actually really close to here. You actually need to climb up on this weight. Grab this thing and not fall off like I did. And look, here's the second one. Now for this one, you have to hit the right target to unlock it. Another thing you could do is you could also, like, I think you also get a team blast from one of these. See? So just use that to, maybe that is how you're supposed to defeat it. Maybe not one target unlocks that. Maybe you actually have to just use the team blast. And I believe there is a second team blast you can get too. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get another one before I advance. And then pretty much move on. Couldn't really see where I was going though, so I had to readjust the camera a bit, but that's to be expected.
Here we go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Here we go.
I'm actually not sure why I am necessarily doing that. Maybe I'm just kind of wondering if I won't get the points, or... Actually, no, I think it was for those level ups.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think that's why I did that, for those level ups. That way, if I don't have a team blast, I can just use my characters and do damage very, very quickly. Now, I believe right here, it's either this part or the next room that's like this. But I know in one of these rooms that have, like, you know, very vertical and horizontal. I know in one of these rooms there's a gold turtle. Like, yeah, here it is, right here. This is one that's actually easily missed. And I'd say the second one's actually pretty easily missed, too, if you're not careful. But yeah, getting these two turtles is definitely vital, and... definitely shows, like, the fastest way to do this, like, normally. Like, if you do this without the requirement. Although, I feel like you might want to go further just so you get more enemy kills if you're playing Mission 1. So that might be something to keep in mind. And I think I... okay, no, I can... And then here, since we have to, for some reason, ride the flower up here as opposed to doing the vertical section. Which I don't necessarily hate, it's just, again, kind of strange that Team Chaotix can't do this for some reason.
Let's go. Looking good.
But yeah, as far as the remaining gold turtles are concerned, I think there's one that's going to be at the top of, like, after you do, like, after you use a flower warp, obviously, but one of those elevator rooms. And then the other one is at the very end of the level, so we actually have everything we need to finish this. It's going to be a matter of being careful and being decisive. And just looking at our score right now, I feel like A rank is pretty well established at this point too.
Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Yep, we have another Team Blast.
Here it comes. Here we go.
Let's go.
So yeah, this room right here, you can continue like you normally would, so you don't have to worry about going the bottom path this time. You can, but I feel like top path will give you like more enemy kills.
Let's go.
Oh, excuse me if I'm yawning like this.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I'm actually like recording this audio narration. One, after I got home from work, did a stream, and then did a tournament commentary for the Link to the Past randomizer tournament, so I've been pretty much non-stop today so far. But felt like doing like one extra recording here, so that's the story on that anyway. But we did find the fourth turtle right here. Gonna use a Team Blast to knock it out. And now we only have one turtle remaining, and that turtle is going to be a little further on, pretty much at the end of the stage, like I mentioned before, so just kind of rush through at this point, honestly. I mean, I feel like the time bonus, the time is probably a bit higher than what I would want, but I still think it's fine, honestly. And then just going to, once again, use the Team Blast. And that will do it for the power plant. So that's now 4 stages done. 2 of the worlds done for Team Chaotix. Got 10 stages left. That pretty much makes it emblem number 110. And with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to Casino Park. So, Casino Park, the requirement here, we have to get 500 rings, which is a lot more rings than what you need for the original objective. I think it's only 200 in the mission 1. But yeah, notice the A rank requirements here. 32,000 points for A rank in mission 1. For mission 2, 14,000. They're expecting you to take a long time with this one. They are expecting you to take a very long time here, so do not fret if you feel like it's taken a while. Honestly, it's probably for the best if you just try to farm enemy kills and just kill as much as you can and then get the 500 rings. But if you manage to get like a jackpot or something very early on from the slot machines, and when I say early on, I mean very early on, like the time points by themselves should give you enough. But yeah, if it wasn't obvious, the general strat here, I wouldn't even recommend like just staying at a slot machine. Just, you know, when you're in the area, play the slot machine a few times. If you get sent up to a higher part of the table, just go ahead and progress. And that's pretty much what you want to do here. Now, there is something that is heavily recommended that you take a trip to when going through this level as Team Chaotix, and I do believe I do actually get to show that off as well, so we'll pay attention to that. But for now, though, we're going to just progress through the course as normal. Not much to really say about it right now, but we'll definitely keep things moving. Almost went off the rails right there, but veered back on because I did know that there were some rings on the on that particular slide, so thought it was worth it to go back in there. So yeah, let's keep things moving here. Got 10 rings right there. Next we have some more rings right there. Yeah, and that's why I definitely recommend definitely try to get those springboard bonuses whenever you can. You know, it's not too much, but you never know. Sometimes, like, just a little bit of, like, just 10 rings here and there could definitely help out. Also make use of the Team Blast in the best areas possible. I think this is a decent area to do it. And one thing to remember is that whenever you do the Team Blast, like, if you get a lot of enemies, you may get enough for another Team Blast right afterwards. Just due to the nature of, because, you know, you're getting ring power-up boxes. So as a result, that will expand your Team Blast meter, so you can definitely use that as a way to kind of have back-to-back Team Blasts, pretty much.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're going to keep on moving here, get put right into that slot machine. It definitely sucks if you end up getting an Eggman bonus, and I have no idea what happened right there, how I got pushed out of the auto cycle, but Sonic Heroes, everybody. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. Yeah, I keep trying to go up into this slot machine. Unfortunately, I'm not getting really too many good bonuses there. Vector actually got set up to a higher slot machine, but when I went back to him, he wasn't in there anymore, so... Sometimes it can be kind of finicky about when your teammates end up in a slot machine and you're not in one. Sometimes you get the bonuses, other times you don't. I guess that could have been a case where maybe they ended up in the team machine, but it didn't give, like, any actual, like, matches or anything. See, this actually worked out decently. There's some enemies here. There's some more rings here. Didn't necessarily want to be on the lower part of the table, but it gave me something to work with.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, hi, turtle. That turtle just chilling at the very top of that. Okay, we only have 200 rings to go, 207 to be exact. Oh, with that, though... Ooh, we're up to 350 now. Ooh, get a nice Knuckles bonus, too. 30 more rings. Oh, we're getting closer and closer, guys. And see, I mean, just looking at, like, our points right now, like, if we just made a little more progress and got some enemy kills, like, that would be enough right there for the A rank, and then we could just kind of rest easy, grab some rings along the way, and then just end it. Wait for another good point for a Team Blast, and just be done with it. Just be done with Casino Park once and for all. Now that's the dream right there.
Here we go.
So here's the thing about this part right here. See those lasers? Well, thankfully we have a chameleon friend who can go through there. We're going to kill these two enemies. It's not going to give us a whole lot right now, but that flower right there is going to lead us to our hopes and dreams. Say hello to the VIP table.
Yep, this is where the rich gamble.
So the VIP table is a place where you can get a lot of rings. So this is where you definitely want to end up, especially when you're as close to it as we are right now. We'll definitely get some good bonuses here. But yeah, this table you can actually reach with some of the other teams. It's just a little easier with Chaotix because you can go directly to it. But for the other teams, you actually have to find like a switch on one of the previous tables that will get rid of the lasers. And if you find that, then that gives you access to this table. So Yeah, it is definitely possible to get here. But yeah, as you can see, coin bonuses are multiplied. And that will give us enough to finish up this mission. And even if it didn't, I'm sure it would take us right to one of the below points to come back here, so it's not a big deal. But that's actually going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time for more Team Chaotix goodness. Later, folks.